and then turn to you for any questions you might have. And if each of you asks one question, and I take 10 minutes to respond, well, we'll be here for a few days. So I won't get to all your questions, but I'm going to try and get a number of questions. So if you got a question or two, think about them as I'm saying a few words of introduction. First of all, I just want to say how much I appreciate y'all showing up to hear me and giving some thought to what's going to happen to our country. Because right now, our country faces some real challenges. We have a nice guy's president, but he doesn't have a clue what to do about the economy, and I do. Now I want to stand back a bit and tell you about my family. My mom and dad had a tradition. When the grandkids got old enough, maybe 11, 12, 13 years old, they'd put them in the car, or the Ford Econovan. They had this van, and they had 25 grandkids, by the way. So when they get a group of 3 or 4 or 5, they put them in the van, and they take them for 30 days around the west of the United States, going to the national parks. And they were teaching the kids, I knew, they were teaching my kids, their grandkids, to love America, to love the soil, to love the mountains, the canyons, the rivers and streams, but also they were teaching them something about the character of the people that formed this great land, that pioneered this land. And I knew they were doing that because I'd been on the same trip when I was a kid. Mom and Dad took me in the Rambler. Remember Rambler? Yeah, there's a man who had a Rambler, all right? He's still looking at his wallet. Anyway, so we took the Rambler, and between the national parks, Mom and Dad would read to us from a book. And the name of the book was Men to Match My Mountains. It was a book written in the 1960s by Stone, a historian. It talked about the settling of the American West and the character of the people who settled it. The name of the book was taken from a poem. I didn't know that when I was a boy. I have since learned the poem. It's only 4 lines, even I can do that. And it goes like this. It says, "Bring me men to match my mountains. Bring me men to match my plains. Men with empires in their purpose and new eras in their brains." The poet's idea was that the people who would settle and craft this great country known as America would have empires in their purpose, not conquering other nations, but innovating, pioneering empires of thought and discovery. And we'd have new eras in our brains, meaning that we would change the world, that the vision of the founders would change not only America but other nations, and it has. The founders that came together and crafted this country gave us political freedom. They said the state was going to be the servant and the people would be sovereign. They had another innovation. They gave us economic freedom. They said the American people were free not just to choose who would represent us, but free to choose as well our course in life. And by virtue of those 2 freedoms, economic freedom, political freedom, people from all over the world came here, loving freedom, pioneers, innovators. It's who we are. It's what made us who we are. And Washington today doesn't understand that. They think government makes us who we are. Government does not. The free people of America make us who we are. We did something unusual. We elected a president we didn't know very well a couple of years ago. As a people, we did. I guess it's not all of you did, but most people did. And he didn't have much of a track record. He never worked in the private sector, never had a job in the private sector, and some people wondered what would happen if we elected a president without experience. Now we know. And he pursued his agenda. We had the economy sliding, and he pursued his agenda. It hasn't worked. You have today 25 million Americans out of work, or stopped looking for work, or in part-time work that need full-time employment. You have home values continuing to decline. You saw today, perhaps in the paper, that the average income of an American, in real terms, is the same today as it was in 1996. This president has failed, and America needs a president that will get the economy going again. I spent my life in the real economy. I spent 25 years in business. Small business, then big business, sometimes failing, sometimes succeeding. I lived as governor for 4 years. I didn't inhale. I'm still a business guy. I know how the economy works. I know why jobs come to America. I know why they leave America. I want to use every ounce of my experience to get America working again. And by the way, that doesn't happen with a little stimulus, with borrowing money from this pocket to give money over here. That doesn't make things better. Fundamental restructuring of the way government works with enterprise and with free people, not with a heavier hand of government, but with the freedoms that make America such a powerful nation on earth. And I intend to do just that if I'm lucky enough to be your president. Now, I have to tell you this. I sometimes get asked how it was that President Obama's made so many mistakes. How is it he borrowed so much money and accomplished so little? How come his political agenda has not meant people going back to work? And I remember the great line from Ronald Reagan. He said, "It's not that liberals are ignorant. It's just that what they know is wrong." And what he's done has not worked. He's proven that maxim. I also think he takes some political inspiration from the social democrats of Europe. Europe isn't working in Europe. It's not going to work here. I believe in America. I believe we got it right and they got it wrong. Enterprise. I believe in freedom and opportunity. I believe in men and women that have empires in their purpose and new eras in their brains. By the way, some of you spent some time in business during your life. Sometimes I think that the president doesn't like you very much. I love you. I love what you do. I recognize that what you do in the free enterprise system is create jobs, put people to work, create the resources that allow this great nation to defend ourselves and to care for our young people and our seniors and those who have special needs. And I love the free enterprise system in this country. I love our Constitution. There's a... Don't mess with the Constitution. There's some great elements in it. With the speaker over here, I know his favorite. There he is. Speaker, see, I said, Speaker Tobin, what's your favorite amendment? It's the 10th. That'd be number 10. He says, those that don't know the 10th Amendment, it says roughly these words. It says, those powers not specifically granted to the federal government in the Constitution are reserved by the states and the people. We need Washington to hear that. You know the principal source of the greatness that the world reveres us for. It is, and I'll come to that in a moment, but there's something else you may not be as aware of. You know, the free enterprise system that we promoted around the world, free trade and human rights and democracy and free enterprise, and these principles that we promoted, other nations have begun to copy them. Even communist China has copied aspects of free enterprise and capitalism. And you know what? As they copy it, people come out of poverty. Tens of millions of people a year around the world come out of poverty. The only antidote to poverty the world has ever seen work is free enterprise. And we promoted that in the world. We should be proud of helping bring people out of